Welcome to the Film Section Podcast. This is episode 8. I'm one of your hosts, Chris.
And I'm Mark.
Little fun outtakes.
Oh my god. Okay.
And
Yeah.
today we're talking about Just Before Dawn, little 1981 film. It's got some people in it.
I don't know the names of the characters or the actors, honestly.
I know the old man is George Kennedy. There's only like 3 names I can pick out, and one of the guys is like one of those people that's like, hey, it's that guy. I figured out. I talked to Corey today, and I figured out where Shovelface would where you might recognize him from. He was in Slither.
Oh. Okay. Okay. I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but okay.
He was in it. I believe his name. I want to say his name's Clark Gregg, but I might be wrong. It might be Greg or something. It's close to that. But he's a recognizable guy. Like, I feel like people see him and they're like, hey, that guy, but he looks like fucking 30 years younger.
Okay. Yeah. His face was just, it was hard to look at. Like,
It's one of those working man's faces.
it's like a caveman. So
Let's take us through it here.
Well, okay, so the movie starts off with these two, I think it's like an uncle and a nephew, just kind of inside of a church. We don't really know why they're inside of the church.
Yeah.
And they begin to realize that they're not alone. And so within, I think it's like the first 5 minutes of the movie, we see the nephew get stabbed through the groin.
Tell him what you said before.
Gets stabbed right through the dick and out the ass.
Yeah.
By a very long machete. And that's our intro to the movie.
Getting right to it, because not much happens after this.
Yeah, and so I mean, I'm gonna get into it, but that kind of bothered me, and so after that, where we see the first murder, we are introduced to our 5 characters, our 5 group of young adults, all in their somewhere between 20 to 50.
Yeah, dude. I also, going back, don't really remember any of these people's names.
Nope.
I don't feel like their names are used a lot.
Not really. There's I refer to them as, as Shovelface is our blonde male lead. You got the blonde girl, you got the redhead, you got the dude with the camera, and you got the guy with the perm.
I just want to call the dude with the camera, like, I want to say he's Brian. I want to call him Brian or Scott.
I thought it was Charlie. So
Charlie, Brian, Scott, whatever.
Yeah.
Blank. They may have said their names to each other in the beginning.
I mean, they say them a couple of times. It's just, especially on the version that I was watching, it's the audio was not the best.
Yeah.
So, it was 1981 VHS quality.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, is the way it was intended to be seen. But
you're getting that vintage, boy. You're getting that vintage.
Oh, yeah.
The whole feel.
Dude, I have a VHS player now, but, You know, it sucks about the one bad thing I can say about having a 4K TV is that it doesn't have the red, yellow, and white audio plugins, audio video plugins.
I have, I think one of the last things that came out with a VHS player, which is a VHS DVD recorder.
Those are cool. I always
So
wanted one of those.
so I think I actually transferred a couple, like I bought this huge box. It was like a mystery box of VHS tapes that were wrestling.
Hmm.
And some of them are the actual tapes, but most of them are just somebody recorded a bunch of stuff on TV. And I'm pretty sure I transferred some of it to DVD, which was cool. But it actually has an HDMI port on it,
That's cool.
along with the red, white, yellow. But it has an HDMI port, so it made it real easy to hook up.
So can you? Well, so you could watch VHS tapes on a 4K TV technically then.
Um,
That
yeah, yeah, but I don't know. To get the real feel of that, like you really have to like go to the Goodwill and buy one of those old tube TVs because it still looks weird on a fucking like
I want
high
to
def.
see. I don't know. I want to see. Like I want to. Like as I said, I have a VHS player now,
Yeah.
and my parents gave me like some of like our old like VHS tapes, and
Mhm.
so I want to. I just want to see what they look like. Honestly, on my TV, like I have to see what that looks like.
I can tell you from my experience with just high definition television, you get the black bars on the side.
Well, that's fine. I don't. I
It's
mean,
like
one of my yeah.
because it's standard def. Like you're getting the VHS look, but it's standard def. You're getting like the sidebars. That's really what you're getting, and then you're tracking and crappy picture.
I gotta be honest. I kind of want to see on my TV what like those like tracking lines look like. Like I just feel like that would look so cool for some reason.
Yeah, it wouldn't be an Instagram filter. It'd be the real deal.
Right? Um anyways, back to the movie.
It's weird to hear you say that. I really want to see what the tracking lines look like. Like I live that shit, bro.
Well, no, I mean, I did too. Don't
But
I feel
you want to see it on like what it looks like on a 4K TV? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, because I I just think that like I mean growing up like we had tons of VHS tapes and so
Same.
I wore those things out. Like we had a copy of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie that
Mhm.
that thing broke because I just watched it so much. Trying to
I
rewind like the actual shit in the VHS tape. Oh my god, it's
my
terrible.
I had this copy of Beetlejuice.
Oh, it's so cool.
And I rewound the part so much when he was like, "Nice fucking model, honk honk." I rewound that part so much that the tape would the fucking tracking would come through because I kept rewinding and playing it. And every time I mark it, you get this little fucking tracking glitch.
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to think which
I actually have a ton of VHS right now, and I gave most of it away because it was taking up a lot of space. But I kept some that were like sentimental.
at at the Goodwill where I worked at, we would sell VHS tapes for 10 cents. And I
Yeah,
always regret like not buying them because I was like some of them are worth a lot of money now. For some reason VHS tapes are making like a big comeback, which is
but
weird because it is terrible quality.
some people long for that. You know what I mean? And then there's the people that are fucking saw VHS tape when they were 3 years old and or
Yeah.
never saw a fucking VHS tape and were like, this is the thing right now.
Well, like I don't know if they still do it, but Urban Outfitters was like $25 for like 3 VHS tapes. And it's like a random mix bag. So it could be like The Water Boy, Shrek
Yeah.
and Little Nicky or something.
Oh, I've been there. They fucking they sell cassette tapes too. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, back to the movie. Sorry, yeah, we got a little sidetracked. I could talk about that shit all day. Honestly,
Well,
it's
I don't know. That could definitely be an episode in itself for
I
sure.
I got I did I can say that I did I have in my collection ones that are very sentimental to me. Um, there are movies that have come high def and been restored and remastered. They look great and everything,
Hmm.
but sometimes I need to watch them as I originally saw them.
The the movie for me, I mean, there's a couple of movies like Pet Cemetery, the original Pet Cemetery. Watching that on a VHS tape on my TV, like it's a very different feel than watching it on my Blu-ray on my
Yeah.
TV now. So it's just movies like that. Anyways, yeah, Just Before Dawn.
Yes, that's what we are talking about. Yes.
Um,
VHS that's a different thing. Yes. We can do that.
yeah. Um, so our five characters get to their campsite and they're just kind of bullshitting for like the next however little bit. They're talking, they're laughing, they're drinking, they're doing what, you know,
People
young,
in their 20s to 50s do.
yeah, just the usual stuff. You know, somewhere in between writing their fucking alimony checks. So,
uh yeah, we get they get to the they get they get to nighttime, they're partying, they got a fire going, they got the tent set up. Um so a little weird shit, little weird shit's happening.
mhm.
They kind of get spooked. Don't really pay it any mind, and then they get up the next day and they're skinny dipping. Uh, what?
That burp, dude.
Oh, sorry.
Anyways,
Kind of
yeah, they go.
how I feel about this portion of the movie.
Yeah, no, I gotta be honest. This movie, not my favorite, but
There's things in it that are cool, like that are good. There are good
yeah,
things about it, but I
oh
think
yeah,
the bad. I think the bad outweighs the good, and mostly the bad for me is the fucking like wasted space in between the points of the movie. That I
yeah,
mean, other than that, I like it.
yeah.
Let's go.
Like it does feel like it's sort of just like meandering at a certain point. Um, but so the second day when you said like they were skinny dipping, as they're going towards like the waterfall, they see this girl who's like singing by the falls, like underneath of them, and they kind of spook her, and she sort of like runs away, sort of like a small feral animal almost.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, which I thought was sort of a cool touch, because right after that we see the family, this kind of like weird old redneck sort of looking almost incestuous backwoods family,
Hmm.
that live up in these mountains of Oregon, and the family warns the five adults to leave, like don't come back, and Shovelface is like, but we have a deed, like I own this place, and this old guy who looks kind of uh he reminds me of have you ever watched Breaking Bad?
Yeah,
You
of
know
course.
the guy who worked at like the trash yard that had like the big magnet, like that old guy. He also
Oh
played
yeah,
in,
yeah.
yeah. He like this old guy in the movie kind of reminded me, like he just looked like him a little bit. Um, and so I was like, okay. Um, but yeah, so like the old guy looks at Shovelface and he's like, yeah, I don't care about your deed. Get off the mountain. And Shovelface and his friends are like, all right, okay, bye. And then they're like, okay, we're not gonna get off the mountain.
I mean, he's a dick about it, but like they're gonna find out why this. Three fucking people told these people, yo, just turn around and go.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Three times. It's not like fucking Crazy Ralph from Friday the 13th where he dismissed him. Like, yeah, that's one crazy dude in the whole time. Three fucking people. And one of them sounded pretty sane, which was the old guy in the beginning. That guy
Yeah.
was cool. He was like, hey, look, you don't want to do that, man.
Yeah.
Everybody else, I mean, the other guy sounded crazy because he just saw a guy take a fucking machete to the dick. So, I mean, I think I'd be
through the dick too. It's not. It wasn't like a hack off. It was like we're going right through. Like
we're going right up in there.
Yeah. Like. and so.
But these people have plenty of chances. So, I mean.
Oh yeah.
Drago says if he dies, he dies. Like now, because
But so the next day, when the guy who looks like he has a perm follows the girl who was singing underneath the falls, follows her, is kind of like chasing after her, and it's meant to be like playful or whatever. She gets scared. He goes to like this footbridge, and the footbridge gets cut by one of these killers who's just like this big fat guy covered in like sulfur, and
he just goes.
Yeah, and he whistles. They whistle.
All the
and so the guy with the perm looks up at one of the killers, and he starts like breathing really weird, like kind of like wheezing breathing, laughing, wheezing, breathing. I don't know. And he kicks the guy with the perm off the cliff into the waterfall to his death.
Just like he's the guy with the perm.
Yeah, yeah. And so, meanwhile, while this is happening, Shovelface and his girlfriend are making out underneath the falls, and just while things are heating up between them, the guy with the perm's limp body falls like next to them, and before Shovelface can even say anything, his girlfriend is like, he was murdered. And Shovelface is like, how would you even know that? Not exactly, but
Shovelface is very dismissive in this movie.
Yeah, he's like, you don't know that. That's like, shut up.
I can't wait till later for when I can make fun of Shovelface really badly.
So,
oh God! I mean, I could make fun of him now, but later,
and so after Shovelface gives the guy with the perm mouth to mouth incorrectly, his girlfriend again is like, he was murdered. Shovelface is like, you don't know that. And so they go back to their campsite where the guy with the camera and the redhead are busy off.
They're doing a fucking porn shoot by the abandoned church.
Yeah.
Where fucking knife dick fucking ass got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel bad for this guy. No, I feel bad for this guy right
here. Yeah.
He was about to get it. He was about to get it in.
Mm-hmm. And then he gets stabbed. I'm assuming in the dick because they don't show it, but
a lot of dick stabbing. These dudes hate genitals, bro.
Yeah, it's very yeah. So the um so after they kill the guy with the camera and the girl with the red hair, it's back to just Shovelface and his girlfriend at the campsite, and his girlfriend is like, guy with the camera and the redhead were murdered, and Shovelface is like, you don't know that. And girl with red hair is like, well, how come they're not back? And he's just like you don't know. And so,
Shovelface is the only guy that's like fucking clueless to red flags.
I mean, I can I can sort of understand um how he would think the guy with the perm maybe wasn't murdered. How he would have just like slipped off of the footbridge or something.
Yeah, he could have been like climbing or fucking slipped up there, fell in. Like, yeah, that could be an accident.
Yeah.
So I guess I get it, but still, like,
But
this
when
dude's
it
doing
comes to
nothing. This dude's doing nothing to calm his girlfriend down. He's just like, shut the fuck up. Nobody got murdered.
yeah, pretty much.
Can we fuck? Everybody else is.
Yeah, pretty much. And so it's at this point where the old guy and like comes up riding his white
Oh,
horse.
dude. My man came through on a horse.
Yeah.
He is not fucking around.
And
I love this guy.
and he finds the family first and is like, "Hey, there were some, kids ages 25 to 50 that came up here." And
Kids, 50.
and so we were wondering, and so I was wondering if you saw them, and the old guy, who the other old guy, I guess, was like, nope, haven't seen him. Meanwhile, his daughter, who was the girl who was singing underneath the waterfall,
Yeah.
is like, oh no, I saw them. They're over here, and
The old dude's like, shut the fuck up before I beat the shit out of you.
yeah. So then the daughter is like, well, no, I'm just going to leave because apparently you aren't really going to do anything. I'm going to leave and hop on this horse and show this other old strange man where the kids ages 20 to 50 are.
It gets. This is like the whole last act of the movie. It just really picks up here. Like,
Yeah. Because then you have the two killers who look like twins, who are just again kind of like big oaf looking like things.
like big oaf, slow, like mongoloids. Like they definitely don't look normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're covered in like black like soot or something. They're like chimney sweeps that got stuck halfway through.
And they're like really happy about killing people because they're constantly laughing. And they're
Yeah,
not whistling. They're like,
yeah, and then they go straight for the dick every time.
That's why they're laughing. Like, no more.
Um,
Take your dick and your life.
yeah, oh yeah, because they still die. Like even though they got stabbed, through the dick and right out, like right through the crack.
Yeah.
Perfect
shot. Nobody
pissing in one hole out the other. So, anyways, so
yeah.
so it's at this point in the movie where Shovelface and his girlfriend are like very tense with each other, and Shovelface is like, the guy with the perm has the keys. His body, like the keys are there, I'm going to go back to the falls and get the keys from him. And I'm also going to get that little like whistle that he had that would alert people that he was in danger, but really didn't serve any purpose.
Yeah, the guy had a rape whistle.
Yeah, but he, still got
His
fucked up.
his perm was attracting predators.
It was a nice perm.
It was. He was rocking it. He was rocking it.
So anyway, so Shovelface finds his body, gets the keys, and is like, where is the whistle? Like, he's like shaking his body and everything, and he notices that his body was moved.
Yes.
And so when he runs away and he finds the guy on the white horse again, and he's like, the body was moved. They moved his body, and like the old guy on the white horse was like, "Yeah, I told you. Like, there's people up here, and they're gonna fuck you up. Like, why did you not listen?
I told you once.
Yeah, like you stupid kids. Like you're 40, like you're 47 years old. You should have learned this by now.
He would have lived if it wasn't for those meddling kids."
And so, the old guy on the white horse is like, "Where's your girlfriend?" And Shovelface is like, "She's back at the campsite,
all by herself." I said, "Fuck her."
And so we go back to his girlfriend, who's getting chased and harassed by the giant oafs. They're giggling all the way, and they've got their machetes. And so, as they're chasing her, she trips, I think, on something. Yeah. No, does she trip? I can't remember.
The only thing I remember about her is her climbing a tree.
That's right. That's right. She climbs a tree, and as one of the guys is chopping it down with his machete, he gets shot. Or no, the tree falls over. She survives it somehow, starts running away, and as he like corners her, he gets shot by the guy on the white horse. Meanwhile, Shovelface is looking onward like, wow, that was cool. This guy's only like 3 years older than me.
Shovelface is like, I'm standing by this 60-year-old. I'm standing behind him.
Yeah.
I got his back, waving.
Yeah. And so the Shovelface and his girlfriend talk to the guy on the white horse, and he's like, "Go back to your campsite, get your stuff, and then we'll leave." And then it goes back to Shovelface and his girlfriend just at the campsite by themselves, and they hear the whistling again, and they just kind of hold each other, and Shovelface is like, like, fuck, and then the movie's over. That's how the movie ends.
Well, the version that I saw was the Mongoloids came for Shovelface.
Oh yeah, that's right. They do one last attack,
and Shovelface gets bitched.
Yeah, he gets cut in like the stomach. Yeah.
This is what I thought was super unique about this movie, is that Shovelface took on the emotions of like a final girl, but without being a final girl, because he was just straight up scared to death. Yeah. And the girl was the one on this fucking Mongoloid.
Yeah, she jumped on him.
Yeah, wasn't she like fucking stabbing his eyes with her fingers or something?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she was vicious, and this dude was huddled in the corner crying.
Well, to be fair, he got cut pretty bad in like the side or something.
Okay, great. But the girlfriend is killing these huge Mongoloids. Shovelface barrel chest looks like he's Robert Meacham from a 1950s fucking badass movie in the corner crying. Girlfriend, it's the switch of emotion that you would expect from a movie where the guy's like, oh, fuck everything up. But
Yeah,
the roles were like reversed, dude. That's what I actually liked about it. That was kind of different.
yeah, that's right. That's right. Um, did they end up escaping? Was that how it ended?
That's how it ended. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
Um,
I don't know. I don't think there was anything after that. I don't think there was like them driving the RV out or
no.
anything like that. Yeah, that's how it ended. Yeah, she straight up murdered the fucking mongoloid, and that was it.
Yeah.
That was literally the end. Like, dude was just sitting there crying and shit, and she was like, "Yeah, just fuck that dude up," and then that was it.
Um,
It was
so
actually part of the movie. The ending was one of the parts of the movie I really liked, actually. So,
yeah. Well, so why don't we just get into that then?
oh yeah, let's go.
Talk about your likes because I'm sure that we just made this movie sound ridiculous.
I mean, it kind of is, but no, not the way we made it sound was ridiculous, but it's played pretty fucking straight. Not gonna
Yeah.
lie, like, nobody is terrible in this movie.
The acting is not, but the ADR is not.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. Uh, although the names were forgettable, I didn't really hate any of the characters.
No, not really.
The guy with the perm, he was a little horny, but other than
Yeah.
that, like, he was just curious, and curiosity got him killed. He's like, oh shit, there's a kid out here, and he's chasing around and just fucking mongoloided. Hey, he fell off a cliff. He
You
could
just
have
say
got.
he got mongoloided? Like that's a verb?
Yeah. No, it's not. I made it up. Dude, in my opinion, he got off easy, bro. He did not take any knives to the dick.
That's
Or
true. That's true. He got cut on the hand, and that was about it. And then he kind of fell off the cliff like a rag doll, which was sort of funny to watch.
um, I just didn't like Shovel Face. Didn't do it for me.
No,
The guy's not a bad actor. He just, I don't know what the direction was in this movie. Like, be a bitch.
yeah, yeah. Like we need you to play just the biggest pussy,
Also, gaslight your girlfriend. Gaslight her.
and like not in. It was it was just like, dude, what you're saying makes no sense. Like they were murdered. Stop saying that. You don't know that. But they were murdered. It's like 11 o'clock at night and they haven't come back. And he's just like, yeah, you hear that weird whistling? It's just the animals. They're more afraid of you than you are of them.
I don't know if it's the direction or the script, but yeah, his character was fucking dumb.
Yeah.
My favorite person in this movie is the old man.
Yeah. He was good.
Trying to think of what else I liked about this. When there wasn't nothing happening, things were happening and they were fine. Like those are the parts I enjoyed. But like when you're fucking almost making me fall asleep and then you do something, it's kind of annoying. I want to say the second half of the movie is a lot better than the first half. Things happen.
Yeah. It's
the the scenery.
Yeah.
I like the setting.
Yeah. Like I like the cinematography. I like the location, like wherever they filmed is really cool.
Nice.
It's I'm trying to think of what else. I mean I like the movie because it does I think I said this last time where like it feels like this is sort of what Wrong Turn took a lot of inspiration from.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely.
where this movie said that I think his name like Jeff Lieberman was like his inspiration for this movie was Deliverance, which I can kind of see,
Yeah,
but I mean, Deliverance is a way better movie, but
Deliverance is probably the angle where it's like this this 100% could happen.
Mhm.
This movie was like, hmm, I don't know. Have you ever heard of fucking mongoloids coming out of the woods and murdering people in the dick?
Murdering people in the dick, yeah, specifically in the dick, specifically
Like,
murdering dicks.
like everything in the movie is realistic, but like in real Deliverance was scary because that could really fucking happen. Those are human beings and other human beings interacting. This is human beings interacting with a couple human beings and some mongoloids. Like, I don't know if it's possible if there are people alive that look like that.
Well, I mean, I think so.
Maybe.
I mean,
It
realistically, they were
must
just
be in
big
the woods.
fat guys covered in like ash or soot or something.
All right, whatever. I feel like Deliverance is more likely to happen than
Oh
fucking
yeah,
just done. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And that's what makes it a way better. That's what makes it a better movie. Not
yeah.
because they told Ned Beatty to squeal like a pig. Dude, the first like 25 minutes of that movie are fucking fascinating.
It's. I mean,
Like,
it's just such a good movie.
and most of that 25 minutes is them driving and having a conversation, which I'm totally engaged in. And then they
Hmm.
stop at that store, and that scene is fucking pretty iconic.
Yeah. Um.
And then they meet those guys, and I'm like, yikes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it has that infamous banjo scene.
Yeah. That scene is pretty fucking engaging, even though I've seen it 100 million fucking times
Oh yeah.
before I even saw the movie. Um, what it, we got on Deliverance. What do you rate this movie?
Gonna be honest with you, I'm probably only gonna rate this movie about like a 4.5, maybe a 5. Um,
Okay,
I
you know
gotta
what?
be honest, Shovel Face kind of kills the movie for me. He's just so aggravatingly annoying. Where it's like maybe if I was drunk, I would have liked this movie a lot more. I could have laughed along with it, but I'm just when I watch it, I'm like, this is like the worst version of Fred from Scooby Doo.
This is actually it's considered a like a forgotten or like underrated slasher during like 81 was like the boom for slashers. There was a
Mhm.
fucking slasher or two coming out every week, like
Yeah.
all the success of like Friday the 13th. So there are a lot that can get swept under the rug, and this one was one of them. But it's not a perfect movie by any means.
Your sound is weird. You sound like a robot.
Am I good?
Say something.
Hello?
Okay, there we go.
All right. Um, so this movie falls in like one of those underrated slasher type deals, which for a slasher during that time, and I've watched a shitload of 80s slashers. Uh, this one is above a lot and below a lot. So
Yeah,
where you were at with the 4.55, I'm giving it a five.
a 5. I mean, I think it's fair. It's far from the worst, but it's also far from the best. It's very like middle of the road for me.
I give it a five, and the only thing that saved it was the second half of the movie.
Okay. Okay.
Because the first half, I guess, was set up, but what were you like? You're
Not
not
much to
giving
set
it.
up.
There's no exposition. There are no like these no getting to know these characters.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of nothing.
Yeah,
but second half saved it. 5 out of 10.
that's fair. That's fair. Um, so why don't we go into I guess like what we think are sort of our favorite kind of underrated or not very talked about movies kind of from this era from like the late 70s, early to mid 80s.
Hmm.
I can tell you one of my favorites is
Go for it.
Tourist Trap.
Tourist trap. Oh yeah, with the fucking creepy ass mannequins
Yeah,
and
I love that movie. Um,
Chuck Connors.
yeah, it's just that movie. I saw it. I only saw it a couple years ago. Actually, it was when I like first moved back here. Um, and I was just like I couldn't sleep one night, and so the whole movie was on YouTube to watch.
Hmm?
Um, and so I just sat down and watched it, and it's so creepy, it's so strange, and it's funny because that's Tourist Trap is really what House of Wax is a remake of. That like 2005 movie with like Paris Hilton. Um,
Yeah, yeah, true.
so yeah, that to me. I don't think Tourist Trap gets nearly enough love because that movie is so awesome and so creepy.
So I saw this movie when I was like 9 years old. Um, living in the growing up in the time I did, I saw a lot of shit I wasn't probably supposed to see, and there's also because I spent a lot of time at my grandmother's house on the weekends, and all I stayed up till like 3 in the morning because I'd watch fucking USA Up All Night, and they would play movies like Tourist Trap, and then
Mhm.
they'd hit some trauma shit. Like I saw a lot of shit that I mean, I think if I didn't see that, I wouldn't even have probably watched them. So
Right.
Tourist Trap is one of the creepiest fucking things I've ever seen, and it's not even for anything else but those goddamn mannequins. Like
Yeah.
they, whenever they, I heard, I can't remember, but I remember seeing something about how they did that, like with the mannequins and stuff, but I can't remember anything. I just know I saw it. Super underrated.
Yeah. So creepy.
Um, I like him. Like I heard a few people talk about it, but nobody really talks about it. And I saw it on Turner Classic Movies. It's called Race with the Devil.
I've
I
never seen
think
it.
it was made in like '75. Um, it has Peter Fonda in it, and it's two couples. They're the two guys are dirt bike racers, and they're driving an RV through like the desert countryside. Um, and they're I believe they're driving to their next like event or something like that. Uh, they're driving and they roll up and there's like people in a circle with fucking hooded shrouds and they're like sacrificing this girl and they're like trying to creep in and like get closer and check it out and they get spotted and they
Hmm.
run back to the RV and get away and the whole rest of the movie is like weirdness and these like these satanists I guess we'll say like trying to catch it take them out for what they saw, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
um, Really really cool underrated movie. Like I had never heard of it until I was just like I think I saw Peter Fonda was in it and it was sort of a horror movie and I was like, oh that's weird, Peter Fonda in a horror like somewhat horror movie. I guess I was like, all right, I'll watch it, and it was really good, man. Like surprisingly.
Um, I've never seen it. It sounds really cool though.
Check it out. It's pretty good.
I'm trying to think of trying to think of another one. Um, I I don't know if it's necessarily underrated. I think it gets a bad rep because of all of its sequels. But the original Silent Night, Deadly Night,
Yeah.
um, I think that that is a really great, fun holiday slasher. Where I remember like reading and watching videos about it. Where like it had like all these like protests and stuff.
It also came out the same day as Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
It did
Um,
have it's like, well, kids shouldn't say Killer Santa Claus.
yeah. Um,
But it was actually pretty successful because of that.
yeah. And I mean it's honestly it's just a good movie. It's a little cheesy, but I think it
Oh,
sort of knows that it's cheesy and I think it has fun with it.
that's
Um,
what I mean, I can get into any movie that knows what it like. They're like, okay, we know what this looks like. Just go with
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean like the sequels I think give it a bad rep because of, Garbage Day. So,
Well, that second sequel, people love that shit
well, I mean I love it, but yeah.
because of Garbage Day, dude. When I was younger, I didn't get it. I took these movies pretty seriously. I didn't hate it at all.
Mm,
But like when I saw part two, I was like, I rented it or something, and then I was like, this is bullshit. I'm like, basically the whole first movie over again with like a half hour of
yeah.
new footage. So it
Yeah.
pissed me off. But when I got older and realized, I was like, oh man, this is fantastic.
Um,
Rest of
so
the sequels are fucking forgettable. Ooh.
yeah. So I guess one more underrated movie.
Oh, I gotta think, man. It's funny because the underrated ones are the ones I watch the least. I'm sure I own something. Uh, fuck. Underrated, underrated. Uh, this movie got, or oh, you know what? I don't know if it's because a lot of people never saw it because it was like a TV movie. It was on USA. So I'm not playing in the 70s, 80s. I guess this is like 1990. It's
Hmm.
called it's called Buried Alive, and it has like Tim Matheson, Jennifer Jason Lee in it. Uh, the guy that plays the dickhead asshole in Ghostbusters, he has the red hair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Um. So guy with the red hair and Jennifer Jason Lee, she's having an affair. Her husband is Tim Matheson. Um, and they hatch a plan. They're like, we'll just take this dude out
Hmm.
and we'll move on with their lives. They don't. I mean, they try and they think, and they're he apparently he's dead. They have a funeral. Apparently he was still alive, and they were working on the house. So this man is like living inside the walls and like then starts to fuck with them, like pops out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it slowly unravels and they find out like fuck this dude ain't dead. Like uh and then it goes crazy. I think I wanna say this might have just gotten like a DVD or a Blu-ray release. Cause I listened to I'm a fucking movie nerd, bro. I I listen to two podcasts and one is this guy Brian Sauer and he does a podcast called Just the Discs, and he talks about I mean, it's a lot of horror, but he talks about everything that comes out. This dude will be talking about movies from the 30s and how much he loves them and this and that. But he on this Just the Disc one, he either talks about movies he got that he watched and we'll talk about them, or he does like releases. So he's like talking about like Warner. You ever hear of Warner Archives?
Hmm. Yeah.
It's basically you order it, they press it and send it to you. He'll talk about releases like from the small companies like that, and then Pure Cinema podcast where he has it's the same guy. He has a co-host, and they fucking go deep. They got like connections, dude. They have like Quentin Tarantino on their shit.
Oh shit. Okay, that's cool.
Because they're in good with the owner of a movie theater out in like LA, the new Beverly Cinema or something like that, and that's where Quentin Tarantino he brings his personal prints and plays them.
Oh, shit, that's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's where that's where I was reminded of this movie because I remember it was like a USA original movie, which I don't think happens anymore.
No, not anymore.
They just play Law and Order. But it's underrated. I don't really ever hear people talk about it, but it's a pretty good fucking movie for like a TV USA movie.
I'll check it out at some point.
So now, we move on. This is going to be our last horror movie for a while.
That is it for horror movies. Yeah.
Because we are the film section podcast, and we're not just talking about one genre. We're going everywhere.
Yeah.
Next up, we're starting out with a bang. Taxi Driver. I would say starting out with a bang, but I don't really know because I've never seen this movie.
Oh my god,
it's crazy!
I am so excited for you to see this movie. It is my favorite Scorsese movie. It is definitely my favorite De Niro movie. It's just, oh my god, everything about it. I just fucking love this movie.
De Niro's my guy. My favorite movie with De Niro though is Once Upon a Time in America, which gets fucking like shitted on.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's actually a pretty good movie. Yeah, I don't know why I've never seen this movie.
You are in for a treat.
Good. I'm ready for a treat.
All right, so that is the Film Section podcast. This was episode 8. Next week, we're doing Taxi Driver. Thanks to anyone that listens or watches. Follow us at twitter.com/thefilmsection. Like, subscribe, comment, say something, anything. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to have a section of this podcast called answering your questions. I'm ready. I'm ready for the mailbag, man. Let's talk to us. Tell us we suck. I don't even care as long as you talk. Like,
yeah. Tell me how terrible my microphone sounds.
Yeah. Talk to us, man. We'll interact. I work, and that's about all I do. So I'll talk to you all day. Whatever you want to talk about. This has been the Film Section podcast, episode 8. I am Chris.
And I'm Mark.
We'll see you next week.